I hate shotguns, by the way. So welcome back to another video, guys. Thanks for joining me. We're out in the desert again. Gonna try to record this really fast because I'm at 1 bar battery and I forgot to bring another battery for the camera because I'm an idiot. So right here we do have the Cyelee Wolf X Pro. This is a new optic from them. Full disclosure, they sent this out to me for the price of on the house to test out, do some shooting, do some torture testing, do a review for you guys. So we are out here. This is their duty rated optic. I'll get through some more stats in a second. But we are mounted on the SIG P320 Spectre Comp Blackout, and to be honest with you, since this is duty ready, it's probably gonna last longer than the gun, because let's be real, this is a P320. So let's just go over some of the specs quick, and then we're gonna do some testing. I'm probably actually gonna shoot this with a shotgun by the end of this, so you might wanna stay tuned just to see the results. So let's just go over some of the specs of the Cyelee Wolf X Pro that we got here. Just gonna read them off, then we're gonna get into the shooting and all the other testing and whatnot. So this is a $235 optic, and if you stay tuned to the end, I do have a discount code for you guys for 10% off, which I'll probably just flash it on the screen right now, and then I'll explain how to do that at the end of the video. You have a 2 MOA dot or a 26 MOA circle, and you can switch between the two of those, and it will give you actually 3 options. So you could have the dot, circle, or circle with the dot in the middle. This is an RMR footprint, so this will fit anything that has your Trijicon RMR, Holosun 507C and stuff like that. It has the auto off, so this turns off after 4 minutes, then once you pick it up again, turns back on. Side load battery, it's a CR1632, kind of standard battery for these. 50,000 hours of working time, maximum battery life, illumination, whatever you call it. It has 10 illumination settings, 2 night vision, and 8 regular daylight settings. Fully waterproof, 1 MOA adjustments. You have your elevation and your windage, kind of standard on all your optics, kind of in the same spots. I do have an Amazon code for 10% off, which I will flash on the screen, and I'll explain how to do that in a little bit. Let's get into the shooting, some more of the torture testing, and have some fun. Wolf X Pro, got it mounted. It's a regular RMR footprint, so it's on there nice and tight with the, I think it was the Springer Precision mount, so. Ew. Did we lose 0 a little bit? Nope. So far, so good. Oh man, I forgot a hammer. And we have some nails to nail down. Gonna start with one, see how it goes, and just keep going here. So far, so good. Actually flattened 2 of those down. Gonna try one of the big ones. These other ones were smaller nails. Now we're gonna try the big guys. All right. That is all the damage we got. So far, so good. I would say it worked. So after those 2 tests of racking it on the tailgate and the metal bed rack up here, we everything's still working. As you can see, the glass is still fine. I don't know if you're gonna see back there. Glass is still fine. And hammering some nails because we forgot our hammer. That is the only damage that's on the optic. So far, I would say it's pretty good. All right, so now instead of just shooting this thing, going through all my ammo, because ammo's getting expensive again for some reason, let's just talk some things about this optic. So far, I don't have a ton of rounds through the optic, but it's pretty damn good so far. I have no problem catching it in the daylight. The adjustment buttons on the side are very easy to deal with. They're very tactile. Your adjustment screws for elevation and windage are pretty tactile as well. So I have no complaints there. Seems pretty sturdy so far. Like I said, I'm not gonna throw my gun on the floor, but I did hammer in some nails with it, so I guess that kind of helps. I feel like if we have a problem with the optic really losing zero, it would just be because I didn't actually put Loctite on these screws, but it is on there pretty good with this Springer precision plate, so don't have to worry there. Now you're saying to yourself, why would I get this instead of a Holosun? I don't know. That one's up to you. I do have a bunch of Holosun optics on most of my guns. Have no complaints with those. The one thing that Holosun does have that this doesn't, Holosun will... Some people care about this, some don't. I like this feature that depending on the light, ambient lighting, your dot will automatically brighten or dim. I like that on the Holosun. A lot of people don't really care about that. That's a plus for me for Holosun and a con for this thing, but otherwise, for close to relatively same price, this thing is pretty good so far. Since this is about $235, your Holosun 407C is about the same price, give or take a few dollars, but that if you get a 407C, you only have the dot. I believe you could get a 6 or a 2 MOA. Don't quote me on that one. That one I don't remember exactly. But if you spend the extra money, I think it's about an extra 50 bucks with Holosun, you can get the same reticle setup. So you have the circle, the dot, or the circle dot, and I believe it's a 32 MOA on the Holosun as opposed to a 26 on this guy. Me personally, I only use the dot, so that feature doesn't matter. This only comes in red. Holosun you can get in red or green, and we're comparing it to Holosun because we are talking about Chinese-made optics here. So this is Chinese. They do have American branding on the box itself, but the little bag that it came wrapped in said made in China, so no big deal. It is what it is. The Chinese optics are stepping up their game. There's some American companies that are kind of lagging behind. So my battery's getting super low, so we're just gonna shoot this thing with the shotgun, then I'll finish out the video somewhere. All right, I have my iPhone set up also just in case this thing decides to die. Unmounted it because obviously I'm not shooting it on my gun. Gonna put it up on over there. I hate shotguns, by the way. So it did break, but seems like it's still working. I'm gonna mount this quick. So as you see there, our glass is broken, but it is still illuminated with the dot. We don't really have an up arrow anymore, but got it remounted. Hey, I would say it's holding zero. A quick more before my battery dies. That's as far as I'm taking this torture test. The pistol and the optic still works. Probably not going to keep this on there because obviously it's cracked. I do have a Holosun to go back on there. As you can see, we did completely destroy that button right there. Thing still works. I would say it's duty rated, but I'm just some guy. I don't really know shit. So we're back in the garage. As you can see, we're not outside anymore because guess what? The battery died. Actually lasted a lot longer than I was expecting while we were out there. But anyway, let's get the closing thoughts on this optic because it actually surprised me. So first of all, I would like to thank Cyelee Optics for actually sending this optic out to me. They reached out to me on Instagram about making a video on this for shooting, torture testing, review for you guys, and giving my honest thoughts on it. So thank you. So now let's just go over some of the extra thoughts that I didn't say while we were out in the field. So like I said earlier, Chinese-made optic. Holosun, also Chinese-made optic. Holosun has kind of progressed their status in the optics world for being like almost one of the go-tos at this point. So maybe that's what Cyeelee's trying to do? I don't know. If we look at this optic, it does look similar to some of the other offerings we see out there. So it's probably the same manufacturer making this one as some other optics, just rebranding, which isn't unheard of. Now the actual torture testing of this optic. So if we look over here, because obviously we shot it with the shotgun, and as you can see, we hit this whole side over here. So obviously the buttons got smashed. As you can see, you got some going off the top of this over here. So if that was a flat surface, maybe it would have took the damage a lot differently. But since it's angled up, it kind of like deflected it off. But our buttons, obviously the up button doesn't work because it's not there anymore. But the down button does not work either. So the plus and the minus buttons don't work anymore. So obviously you can't turn this optic off. But once you leave it sitting for 4 minutes, it'll turn off by itself. But the point of this whole thing is that this optic still works with the cracked glass like this, which is pretty impressive to me at least. But most of our hit was right here towards the glass. I'm sure if it was back this way, it could have been a little different because you have some more electronics and the emitter is back here, back over here. So maybe we could have had different results, but I didn't feel like shooting it again because kind of actually started liking this optic. Finally upset at myself that I shot it with the shotgun and basically ruined it. I mean, it's not really ruined since it still works, but obviously you're not going to use this anymore because the glass is cracked. Almost considering reaching out to Cyelee to see if they would actually mind sending me another one of these because I actually kind of like this damn thing. So anyway, closing thoughts. This optic is actually pretty damn good. It's more than I was expecting from when I was told I was going to get the optic. Because to be honest with you, I saw the company Cyelee Optics, I've never heard of them before, and then they're reaching out to someone like me who has 400 and something subscribers on YouTube and 60 something followers on Instagram. So I'm like, it can't be anything that good if they're reaching out to me to review this thing. Actually pretty surprised with this thing. I was almost thinking if I shot it on this side where there's no buttons, would it have survived? I don't know, maybe. It almost seems as if we have the crack is on this side, which has the buttons, which doesn't have full metal over here. So if I shot it on this side, would it have lasted? Possibility. I'm actually gonna throw in a better little clip of it, but you could see how where the inside, where it kind of got pushed in. It's kind of where that plus button is on the other side, so that's exactly where it got hit with one of the BBs, pellets or whatever from the shotgun shell. So I'm wondering if I shot it on this side, which doesn't have the buttons, if it would have lasted. It's a possibility. So would I get one of these? For my own money, I would have to consider it, to be honest with you. For the same money, you can get a Holosun, which does have basically the same features. It doesn't have, like I was explaining earlier, it doesn't have the different reticle choices if you get a 407C as opposed to 507C, which would be the same price as this. But with the Holosun, you do have the solar panel, which is kind of like your solar backup, which you probably never have to use ever. And it does have the little auto dimming brightening from ambient light on the Holosun, which I like better. Thoroughly surprised with this optic. It stood up to everything I did to it other than breaking the glass, which was obviously you're getting shot with a shotgun. If that happens to you, you obviously have more issues than the glass breaking on this. And also if you have high enough iron sights and your optic is completely out, you can co-witness with your iron sights. So like I said earlier, I do have a discount code for you guys. So if you would like to get 10% off on one of these optics, follow the Amazon link down below and then use this code right here. So you're gonna go to your cart, proceed to checkout, then there's gonna be the second section where it's gonna say like promo code, gift card, something along the lines of that. That's where you're gonna enter this code right here. Hit apply, it's gonna give you 10% off. So if you do wanna support the channel in any way, use that Amazon link down below. Helps the channel out, helps me out, helps you out, helps everyone out. You get a pretty good optic for a pretty good price. And you could shoot it with the shotgun and that's all that happens to it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Once again, thank you for Cyelee Optics for sending this out to test out for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. Stay strapped or get clapped. How does POV do it? Completely missed. Ah, almost. Call me POV.